Hello, my name's Dennis Martin and I'm one of the volunteers here at Soudley Heritage Centre, and at the moment we're on our August charcoal burn. We've been running now for, this is our third day, and the heat that's the pile behind me, the charcoal burn, is probably nearly coming to an end. It's been burning now since Saturday lunchtime, when we built it by hand from wood that you can see down here. This wood here is probably 2 to 3 years old. It's been cut down, it's been allowed to dry, and we've cut it up into 18-inch lengths, probably metric, that's into half-metre lengths, which we've then stood up and built into a conical pile. And it started off at about 4 feet high, just over 1.5 metres high, and probably contained about half a ton of wood. We then covered the pile with turfs and laid earth over the top. What we've tried to do is cut out all chances of air getting into the pile so that we can control it. The air is getting in, but it's in a controlled manner. We know where it's going in and we know how much is going in. So we start with a pile of wood totally covered with turfs and earth. We then set fire to the middle of the pile, because there's a little chimney left at the top to allow access. We pour red hot coals in at the top and then seal it off. And then over the next 3 days, all the wood in the pile hopefully turns to charcoal. Now, having said all turns to charcoal, what I mean is that the majority turns to charcoal, but about 20% of the wood in the pile burns away to ash, like any would do in a fire that's in a fire grate. So some of the wood turns to ash, but it gives out a lot of heat. That heat heats up the remaining wood hot enough to turn the water that's in it into steam, so that that's driven off, and you can see the steam coming out of the top of the burn at the moment. The heat also carries away other chemicals in the wood, what we call volatile chemicals, the complex organic molecules. These are destroyed and carried off. And the oxygen is only in a small amount, it's a measured amount, so the oxygen desperately wants to carry away the carbon, but there's not enough oxygen there for it to carry away the carbon that's in the wood. The result is that the carbon is left behind, and you're left therefore with charcoal at the end of the burn. The water's gone, the complex chemicals are gone, and you're just left with the carbon or the charcoal. Now, the whole process has to be very, very carefully watched for 24 hours for 3 days, which means that somebody needs to be here, 2 or 3 people need to be here during the day, and certainly 1 or 2 people need to be here at night time to make sure that if something happens, and the worst thing that can happen is that the pile of wood collapses a little bit. If it collapses, holes develop between the turfs, air gets in, and all your wood burns away to ash, and you've lost all your charcoal. So somebody has to stay here overnight and stay awake the whole time. It's very difficult because it's quiet and there's not a lot happening, and so the way around that is we use a special stool to sit on, and the trick of that is the stool's only got one leg, so whilst you're awake you can balance on your 2 feet and the stool leg, but if you do doze off to sleep, you lose your balance and you fall over. You wake up instantly and you're alert and ready for to deal with any further collapses. This is the stool I was talking about. You can see this is where you put your bottom, and this is the one leg, so that you put it on the ground. I'll show you how it works. You put it on the ground underneath you, feet like that, and then you watch the burn. And if you do happen to nod off, as you do, and it's very easy, you're up instantly and you can deal with anything that's happened.